Here's my review for Succession. Spoilers ahead, you have been warned. What is wrong with this family? It be your own family members stabbing you in the back. Frustrating. By the end of the show, I felt just like Kendall Roy. Completely empty. Just down in the dumps. This show is basically, let's put Kendall Roy through hell and keep beating him down. What did he do to his family members for them to treat him so awful? This show is about the despicable Roy family, who lead the world's largest media and entertainment company. It's basically Game of Thrones, but with corporate greed. Instead of who gets the crown, it's who gets the CEO position when Logan Roy, the father, decides not to step down. This show is excellent, and all the performances are absolutely brilliant. Peak television when it comes to those aspects. It's really alarming to see how media conglomerates operate behind the scenes. It felt very true to life with their business decisions and the weight that they hold through political affiliations. Like, this family is rigging elections on a casual Tuesday. What? They speak of hundreds of millions of dollars as if it's like pocket change. It's really wild. The first season and finale of the first season was just as emotionally compelling as something like The Godfather when it comes to the acting, the dialogue, the relationships, the manipulation, how the tables have turned with the power, this idea of family and a twisted perspective. Yeah, that was peak. The second season was just as riveting when Congress came into picture and Waystar Royco had to find their way around the situation. Seeing Kendall Roy and his father Logan compete, face off, forced to work together, their tension rising throughout the seasons was the best aspect about this show. Jeremy Strong and Brian Cox were at their best. So many memorable scenes between the two. One of my favorites is when Logan tells Kendall, "You're not a killer, and that's why it's not him." But the way I love to look at the show, in hindsight, is that he was always prepping his number one boy to take over as CEO. Which is crazy to think about after seeing the finale of Succession, since the creator just came out today saying that Kendall's name was not crossed out. It was actually underlined by Logan, confirming that Kendall was supposed to take over after Logan's death. Which is why I kind of didn't like the finale of Succession, surprisingly enough. The series finale of Succession, for whatever reason, left me feeling unsatisfied. Tom taking over as CEO? Tom? Out of everybody? I don't know. I just felt like that decision gave me flashbacks to Game of Thrones series finale. Bran Stark as King of the Seven Kingdoms? Huh? Goofy! And I get it. Maybe this show is not about who gets crowned as CEO. It's not about winning, when I feel like for 4 seasons that's kind of what it's been about and what it's been leading to. Which sibling is going to come out on top. For it to end where we see how their destructive behavior leads to their demise and leads to tragedy, it just makes me think, wow, they really couldn't get over their egos and see clearly that maybe working together was the best possible solution. It just makes me think, these people are just morons. They're stupid then. I feel like the ending kind of solidifies that they're actually not as complex as I thought they were. They're actually very shallow people. But maybe that was the point. I don't know. If that was the point, well executed, but I still don't like it. I don't know. I felt like there could have been a better outcome than Tom taking over as CEO. You know? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But again, I just felt like it was very redundant throughout the seasons then. You know? You would have the siblings fight, then they would unite, then they would break up, then they would work together again, and then break up, and then work together again. And then in the very last moment, oh, I'm Shiv. I changed my mind for no strong motivation. I just changed my mind. That's it. And you're not going to be it, Kendall. Okay, well then the first episode of Succession is exactly the same as the last episode of Succession. And What was the point of it all then? Kendall taking over doesn't have to be considered a happy ending. Just look at the ending of The Godfather 2. Michael Corleone takes over and pushes everyone away. He realizes at the end, as he's sitting on that bench by himself and he closes in on Al Pacino's face, yes, he's won. He's the head of the family. But he's all alone. That is tragic. And I felt like, that could have happened here too. Kendall considered, I'm the eldest boy. The number one boy. Promised at 7 years old to take over. And it doesn't happen. I was just kind of like, alright. Subverted expectations. Okay. I don't know. I feel like this was more of a season finale than a series finale. I feel like there's just so much more ground to cover, but I guess not. I guess that's it. 3 strikes for Kendall. He's really out. He's out. Besides my mixed feelings on the finale, let's talk about the rest of the stuff that I love. The intro is goated. I never skipped it. It's one of the best themes for a TV show. Again, the performances are so good that you wouldn't even believe that Greg is actually highlighter guy from Sky High. Goated. Kieran Culkin as Roman Romulus Roy was fantastic. Such a slimy character, but it was pretty outstanding to see his vulnerable moments. It felt very real, and I cannot wait to see him hopefully win an award for this performance. The scenes where he would finally break down and show that vulnerability to his father always stood out. When Logan tells him, what do I got? And Roman goes, I don't know, Dad, but love? I felt that. Woo! Same thing for Sarah Snook. My goodness. She bodied this show. Her as Shiv, she lived up to that name. Scene stealer. Loved her performance. But yeah, those were my overall thoughts on Succession. A great show, a must-watch show, especially for the performances. Although I didn't love the finale, I know I'm in the minority for that. I hope you love it. I hope you check this show out. Let me know your thoughts on Succession. What did you think about the show?